Millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small, loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Have you added a new puppy to your family? Forever Vets now has puppy socials every month to help your fur baby get used to the other puppies in a safe and secure environment. Parents stay for the social, and Forever Vets trained vet techs will be there to answer questions. Forever Vets will also provide a puppy goodie bag and pup cups for your fur baby, along with some great discounts on services. All puppies under 1 year old with appropriate up-to-date shots are welcome. You must sign up in advance, so visit forevervets.com to get more info on how to register. That's forevervets.com.
Fall is a busy time, and selling your home can be overwhelming. Get a guaranteed cash offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and sell your home stress-free. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our guaranteed offer is the easiest way to sell your home. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer in your home and skip the hassle of constant cleaning and costly repairs. With a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, there are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. One of our clients, Chris, said, selling our 16-year-old home was quick thanks to the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. We avoided the stress of showings, constant cleaning, and negotiations. Their guaranteed offer was beyond what we were hoping for. We've been in business for nearly 30 years and have served over 58,000 satisfied clients, so we know what matters most: a quick sale and maximum profit. Trust the top real estate team in the U.S. and find out what your guaranteed offer will be. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Roadheaver Boys Ranch is hosting the best bluegrass music festival in the country this November with top bluegrass musicians. The festival is a huge draw with thousands of music lovers flocking to the ranch. Some of the featured acts include East Nash Grass, Southern Legacy, Retro 78, Williamson Branch, the Gibson Brothers, Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, and many more. For more information about the festival, please contact Evans Media Group at 386-385-3500 or go to rvr.org and look under events.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown from the WNBA. The Fever hire Indiana native Stephanie White as their new head coach. White left the Connecticut Sun after 2 years, and now she'll get to coach Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. There's another top 5 college football matchup tomorrow. It's third-ranked Penn State hosting number 4 Ohio State in State College. So is this a big game? Penn State coach James Franklin.
West Virginia to open the season was a big game. Bowling Green was a big game. If you don't think it wasn't, lose to Bowling Green and see how people react. They're all big games. This is the big game because of how we've handled the previous 6.
James Franklin. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson says he will 100% play Sunday against the Broncos. He missed 2 practices this week, resting back and knee injuries. Jackson did practice today. Joel Embiid and Paul George both sitting out again. When the 76ers host the Grizzlies tomorrow night, neither has played yet this season. Both have left knee injuries.
Why pay more for a great shave? Choose Barbasol, America's #1 brand of shaving cream. Barbasol's thick and rich lather gives you a close, comfortable shave for just half the price of gels. Barbasol.
Hello, it's me, the designer jeans in your closet, the back of your closet. What am I doing here? Would you keep caviar in the back of your fridge with the ketchup and old milk? Yeah, I don't think so. So what happened to us? I mean, have you seen my label? I used to summer in the Hamptons, and now I'm stuck behind a pair of sweats. Sure, I never really fit you quite right, and one of my pockets is so small you can't even squeeze your hand into it. But it's all about the look. And I look good. I need to get back out on the scene so I can be seen. You know, going to fancy parties, getting expensive iced coffees, Sunday fun days, okay? So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create new jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Who is this guy? Aaron Schachter? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
Ready? Yeah. Turn up your radio.
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
What a difference 24 hours can make, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Aaron Schachter Show. You're listening to one Aaron Schachter, the biggest Aaron Rodgers fan in all of the land. I always wanted this guy on the Jets. I'm so excited for this season. Robert Saleh, who? Jeff Ulbrich is exactly what the Jets need. Woody Johnson might be the best owner in all of football.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Man, that is one thing I think Jags fans and I can agree on today, and that's the Texans stink right now. That felt good, man. Watching that game last night felt so good.
It's never the obvious with you.
Why is that?
Hey, it's one thing we can agree on. The Jets, they're back, baby. No. One thing we can agree on. Oh, boy.
Texans stink right now. Man, they are letting C.J. Stroud get eaten alive out there. See how many sacks there were last night, Brian?
Hey, man, that's what I need from the Jets defense. 13 points in one of my fantasy leagues. That's what I need from you.
Did you have Garrett Wilson going?
I didn't draft him.
Your boy Aaron did.
No.
25er last night. Come on.
They made drug test him after some of those catches, though.
By the way, I also started Joe Mixon, who had a decent night last night.
Look at you. Isn't that the greatest feeling? When you start somebody who's against your team,
it got
but they have a great
better than
year,
that, Brian.
but they lose?
Better than that.
Really?
I went over to the Hard Rock app, and I made myself a little bit of cashola on the win. little bit of the cake. Little bit of the cheddar.
Okay. All right. On what specifically can you?
I had a 4-leg parlay going.
I love these parlays with Aaron.
I had the Jets, the spread, -2.5.
All right.
I had C.J. Stroud with the under on yards, which was 216.5. I had Devontae Adams for an anytime touchdown, which was very much in question as this man was sipping Mai Tais in the locker room through the third quarter with a fake concussion.
Wow. All right.
Devontae's like, hold on. Hold my Mai Tai. Let me get back out there for a little bit. Catch a quick touchdown. Flex for the cameras.
Came back, took another sip.
Get back to the Mai Tai. Get back to that sex on the beach with the umbrella in it.
Still cold.
Chilled. And deserved. You did business. What, are you supposed to catch 2 touchdowns? What are you, Garrett Wilson? No.
At what point did your
One more
frustration...
leg, bro. One more leg.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Garrett Wilson, the over on receptions, 5.5. He ended up with 9. Now you may ask.
That feels like it should be the over every game.
Every game. That's what I'm taking with him.
Disrespecting you, Garrett.
Every game they do that to him, 5.5 with his over-under. I'm like, are you guys not watching this team?
Yeah. At what point in the first half, though, did your frustration boil over? Because it was 0-0 for a long time.
It was play number 3.
It didn't take long.
I'm not kidding.
All right.
So I saw the Texans start the game off with like a 7 and out, right? They 3 plays with nothing, but they get a first down. Another 3 or 4 plays, and they punt. I'm like, all right. Look, they gave up a first down, the Jets did, but at least they forced the Texans to punt. That's a serious offense from time to time. And I was afraid the Jets may come out and fold right away. So I was like, all right, not bad. Jets get the ball deep in Jets territory. Play 1, deep shot down the sideline for Davante Adams. Rodgers just flat out missed him. I don't know if it's like the beginning of the game, I'm a little creaky, or me and Davante haven't connected in a year and a half, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, he just flat out missed him. Davante was wide open, and he missed him. All right, fine. Second play, stone hands, Breece Hall. I don't know what happened to this dude. Last year was like a vacuum cleaner every pass his way. This year he's Gabe Davising all over the place.
That's crazy that you used him as a verb like that.
Right off his hands, right off his chest, onto the ground. Third down. Aaron Rodgers drops back, and you could hear it from the TV. That's his knee right there. Drops back. He does the old 15-step drop gimmick to the 3-yard line and gets crumpled. And I'm like, oh.
Is that time of night?
This is where we're at.
Yeah.
Never mind, guys. I'm going to go watch Netflix. But I stayed, and I'm glad I did. What a satisfying game for me.
Also, it sounds like it might have been a satisfying game for Pico, already in the chat.
Oh.
Says cayenne pepper, exclamation point.
Pico is referring to the Fountain of Youth drink that Thomas Morstead, famed punter, second best punter in the league, shout out to Logan Cook. Thomas Morstead's like, hey, Aaron Rodgers, I know you love your ashwagandha. I know you want to be on the sideline shooting up whatever drugs you got over there, but I got something completely over the counter. They call it the Fountain of Youth, is what Morstead said.
Okay.
It's cayenne pepper in water.
Sometimes the simplest things, huh?
I mean, it feels like if it was that easy, everyone would do it, though.
Yeah, no more ingredients, huh?
There's got to be some other secret ingredient, like I don't know, the tears of a crying child or something. Like something
there you go, Hollywood.
Dastardly.
Yeah, there it is.
Some kind of thing you can only get from P. Diddy's basement. It's got to go in that water. So, because you're talking Fountain of Youth, you're not talking an energy drink.
Right.
You just pop a Red Bull or something. Fountain of Youth, it's like a magical thing. You need a rare ingredient, like a Jets win.
So
that's what they got.
Here's, Aaron, so I get it. We're supposed to talk Jags. I guess if you guys want to talk about 2-7 on Monday, that's fine. But before we get there, let me follow one more thing.
Are you shooting at Jags right now?
Huh?
Are you shooting at Jags right now? You're shooting
I'm
right
sorry?
now. That sounds weird.
Excuse me.
By the way, shout out to Michael Jones, who says, wow, I can't believe you guys came to work today, seeing as how the Jets finally won another game.
Well, you know what?
We did do a Friday edition on a Thursday, so technically you guys are getting overtime right now. A Saturday edition on a Friday.
That is what this is.
But go ahead, please continue with your follow-ups.
That's great. But before we get to the Jags and potentially a 2-7 Monday, so with the Jets, you feel like they've turned a corner. I get it. You got to play it up right now, but you feel like they turned a corner and that they're basically fighting for the AFC East crown. This is not a game.
Oh, they're in the mix.
Yeah, boy.
They're only like 5.5, 6 games out of first place.
Yeah, boy. Huh?
If this was a baseball season, there would be no question. They'd be in the hunt. If it was basketball, they'd kind of be close. Unfortunately, Brian, it's football. There's like 2 weeks left. So I'm not sure the Jets are going to make the playoffs. But I was so happy to see what it might look like for 2 quarters. I was like, oh, okay. Now I understand why I've been miserable for the last year and a half, because quarters 3 and 4 were tremendous. That was great.
Why can't it be like this the whole game?
No. That's not how you play football, Brian.
No.
You're supposed to lose all the time and then just win seldomly.
Well, I am a Jags fan, so that's kind of how it goes. You're right.
You know, I jest. I joke. There's a little jocularity happening right here, Brian.
Okay.
But it did get me thinking a little bit earlier, because I heard some comments made after the game by franchise wondercoon Steve J. Stroud. CJ Stroud.
Oh, okay, because I was like, who's
Steve
J?
Who is Steve? Who am I talking about? Yeah, I heard CJ Stroud at the presser after the game, and I was like, this guy kind of sounds like he's on the Jaguars right now. So I got thinking about it, Brian, because it's been a dire situation for my favorite team, JETS, just end the season. But it's also been a pretty dire situation for our Jacksonville Jaguars.
Absolutely.
The teal and black, the Cardiac Cats. It's been a dour, sour season thus far. But in terms of divisions and division strength, it's been pretty disappointing for the entirety of the AFC South. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Because that's how I felt so far this season.
Yeah, and it falls squarely on the Jags. I think people where the Colts are at right now, 4-4, people are like, that's probably where they're going to be at.
See, I think that people expected the Colts to be further along, which is why they ultimately benched Anthony Richardson because they think they have a chance to win with Joe Flacco.
Interesting.
I think the Colts feel like they have a playoff-ready roster, and by the way, right now, they're in prime position for that 7 spot.
Yeah.
So I think they had higher expectations than what they're dealing with right now, clearly. I could say the same for the Titans. I thought the Titans were going to be garbage, but you're telling me the Titans go out and pay L'Jarius Sneed 3 bags? They pay Calvin Ridley 3 bags? They get the linebacker whose name I'm forgetting, who's decent. They redo the whole offensive line. They pay the most for any center in the offseason. They put in Tyler Boyd. They put some work in there. They did everything but kick Treylon Burks out of the clubhouse. And that team stinks. They do not like each other over there in Nashville. Houston, it looked good out of the gate, but if you look at C.J. Stroud's numbers throughout the year, he has not played well. I kind of talked a little bit about this in the offseason, but if I'm being candid with everybody, it was more about hopes and wishes than it was about my prediction. I was just kind of hoping C.J. Stroud was going to have a sophomore setback. Maybe what we saw was like rookie shine. Maybe with a year's worth of tape, suddenly everyone locks in on the dude. Well, it's not necessarily what's happening, but he doesn't have protection up front. It's messy right now in Houston. And, of course, in Jacksonville, it's been disappointing. So I took a quote, a cut from all 4 of the teams in the South. I would like you to attribute what team's player or coach said the negative thing that I'm talking about. Because, quite frankly, I look at all of these and I go, that could have been out of the Jaguars locker room. And it made me feel like maybe it's not as bad as it feels here at Ground Zero in Jacksonville. Maybe in Indianapolis, they think it's just as bad, despite the records being different. And they're looking at Jacksonville going, okay, but at least you got a quarterback who can play. Right? At least you got a quarterback who can connect on a pass.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in Tennessee, they're like, oh, man, maybe you want Ridley back. That was a waste of our time. So let me do this for you, and you guys can play along at home if you'd like. If you want to call in and play, 904-362-9901. You're going to have to do so relatively quickly. There's only 4 cuts. Let's start with the first one. The quote is this, Brian. I don't really pay attention to it, honestly. I heard him booing. I didn't know who they were booing. It's just football. Who do you think said that?
Out of the 4 teams in the AFC South.
You got the Colts, you got the Titans, you got the Jags, and you got the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Member of what team said, I don't really pay attention to it, honestly. I heard him booing. I just don't know who they were booing.
It's a real mayonnaise energy answer right there. Give me the Tennessee Titans.
Let's see if this was the Tennessee Titans or, as you implied, Will Levis. And my hotkeys up there just checking?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I don't really try to pay attention to it, honestly. I heard them booing, but I didn't know who they were booing. It's just with football, the supporters in it. We know we got to execute, but you got to give them credit too. They dialed it up and did a great job.
You can tell by the voice. Anyone ever tells that man take the bass out of his voice, he'll turn mute.
Yeah.
That is Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
On the Indianapolis Colts, talking about the fans booing this man.
He's also sounded like that since he was 15 years old.
Seriously. He went from,
it's just not fair.
He went from kid's voice into deep puberty. But the funny part to me about puberty? That, you never heard of deep puberty? You got some growing to do, Brian.
Oh, boy.
You still got some growing to do.
It's too late. Okay.
The funny part to me is that I didn't even take that quote after, I don't believe that was after the I'm tired game. I think that was a week or 2 prior to that, or 3 weeks prior to that, whenever the last time he played was. Let me give you the next quote.
All right.
Now you know the Colts are off the table. Here's the quote. As coaches, we can't go out there and make the plays. It's a 2-way street. Now, you guys can sit here and point the fingers all you want. That's fine. Point the finger at me.
Oh, I know my Douglas Peterson when I hear it. I know my Dougie P.
You sure about that one, huh?
Come on.
That is Doug Peterson.
Come on.
The infamous Doug Peterson quote from the press conference where he stormed out on Brent's questions. That was Doug Peterson. So that was a good pickup by you.
Yeah, man.
Let's keep it going. You got 2 teams left. Differentiate here. Normally, I'm generally pretty composed. I think you guys have seen that for the most part. That one set me off. What frustrated team is doing the talking here?
Oh, okay. So which team? Well, that still has to be Houston. Tennessee shouldn't have been composed since like 2021. So I feel like I'm tricking myself, but Houston, that's my final answer.
You think that's Houston?
It should be
All
with
right.
composure.
Survey says.
I'm generally pretty composed. I think you guys have seen that for the most part. That one set me off. And I'm human like everybody else. I have blackout moments where I'll lose my mind. I try not to. I try my best to keep it together. But that one was hard for me to watch in the moment. And yeah, I got to have a little bit better awareness that there's cameras on me, and I'm not up in the box yelling at anybody. I'm right there in the front of everything, and the cameras are pointed right at me. So probably a little bit of a lesson learned for me in that regard.
Definitely doesn't like mayonnaise.
That was head coach Brian Callahan over in Nashville, Tennessee, and obviously annoyed for the right reasons because his quarterback is Will Levis. And he is not happy with Will Levis.
You didn't even talk about whatever mistake set that off. You just the fact that he's on Earth.
Literally take your pick. I heard this man breathe the other day. Normally I'm composed. Normally I remember there are cameras on me. I still wanted to beat this boy about the face. Which leaves us with one team in the AFC South, Brian. The first place, Houston Texans and C.J. Stroud. Listen to this cut from C.J. Stroud. You tell me he's not an honorary Jaguar with this.
I would say, we just got to honestly just play football better, execute better, stop pointing the finger, and realize, at the end of the day, this is not winning football, and we can't keep squeezing our way by every game. We are a really good football team. We have a lot of really good football players. Once we buy into the systems and what is being, coached, and also we got to be able to have leadership to take over. I believe, this isn't the end, but this is definitely a great wake-up call for us to, tighten up the ship. And, this is now playoff football is November and December. So we got to be able to – this is going to be the chunk of our schedule. A lot of great teams we're playing on prime time, and, we got to be able to find ways to win.
Do you think CJ's been watching the Jaguars YouTube channel?
Why you say that?
He sounds just like Trevor or Doug or any of these guys. Got to execute better. We got to stop pointing fingers. We need guys to buy in. And now's the time. We're running out of time. Playoff football in October, November, all of it.
Well, they didn't. They haven't. He hasn't heard that line.
Well, they don't say the P word around here.
Yeah.
But that's essentially the message, right? It's like every game now is a wild card playoff.
He did everything but say, "Yeah, I'm going to look into it."
It's not how it goes. It goes like this.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll take it into consideration.
I'll take it into consideration. Yeah, so I'm saying, it feels bad here, and it is bad. It has been bad. 2-6 is not good. Is it 2-6? I always forget the record. I think it's 2-6.
It's 2-6.
That's not good. Missing the playoffs is not good. Chances are people getting blown out because of that. But it's not over. It's very far from over. The Colts have real problems. The Titans are a giant real problem.
So would you rather be, not the Giants, but would you rather be Tennessee or the Jags right now?
Jags.
Okay.
In a heartbeat. The real question is, would I rather be Indy or the Jags? Rather be the Jags.
I'm sorry. Yes. Indy. I'm sorry. I'm getting
rather
mixed
be
up.
the Jags. Yeah. Indy, it seems like, at least on paper, because they're not playing well, but it seems like Indy would have the better defense right now. And sure, the Jags are banged up, but the Jags have a better offense.
I don't follow Indy media as closely at all, actually. Let me just be honest. But I haven't heard any, cries about the coaching or the coordinator, but would you really hear about that unless you're following closely? Like we hear here in Jacksonville.
No, I think Anthony Richardson is taking the full brunt of the heat.
Yeah.
Period. He's having trouble connecting with receivers. A 10 for 25 game is routine for this guy. 100 yards is like a milestone in passing. And they didn't necessarily bring him there to throw a Herbert-like game. He's a dual-threat quarterback. If he throws for 180 and runs for 100, that's a huge success.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just not how it's going right now. And quite frankly, he still hasn't played a full season. And then when you combine his NFL experience with his college experience, I still don't think it's a full NFL season. Like, I'm not even joking.
No, I'm with you. Yeah. Sorry.
So the kid's like barely an adult, barely has any experience under him. And the whole city of Indianapolis is like, he stinks. It's like, all right, guys, give him 3.5 seconds. He said the wrong thing the other day. Came out because I was tired. He said the quiet part out loud. And he's paying the price.
I just keep remembering the last year, and I saw a video of it already, like on IG, when Anthony Richardson, the headline was, he says the NFL is easier than college.
Ooh, that's going to bite him.
I'm like,
that's a bad decision.
In what universe, even without PR training or without, saying, man, maybe I shouldn't say this, do you say that?
Maybe he feels like he can say it because he's bigger than every offensive and defensive lineman in the game.
245.
Like, who's going to beef with this dude?
Yeah.
Who's going to check him? Nobody.
Deep voice since 15, right?
Hey, guys. It's like, oh, it's my 8-year-old son, Anthony Richardson. Would you like a lollipop? Yes, I'd like a lollipop. I thought you were going to say something right there.
Oh, no, I'm still reading these comments in the chat. So.
We got more as we go to break. I know Pico is going absolutely crazy. Pico. I get nervous. Here we go. I don't want to read the fountain one. I called them the cardiac cats. He called them the cardiac arrest cats. He said Anthony Richardson is this generation's Jamarcus Russell. I think he's a little bit off there, but okay, crazy. That's fine. Sophomore slump for CJ Stroud, I'm sure is who he's talking about. Doesn't have to be Halloween for Ryan Niels. Okay, I don't want to hurt the man's feelings. I'm not about hurting people's feelings, Brian. Pico says Anthony needs a MyPillow. Oh. Why, is he sleeping poorly? What's the problem there? Indy has Gus Bradley, so for me, they stink. And then he called him Anthony Trubisky. And now Pico's, I don't know, seizure is done. He can rest for now. We'll be back in a couple of minutes on the Aaron Schachter Show with today's Doug Peterson update on the injuries.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny, breezy, a brief shower possible. A lot of dry times. Highs reaching the low 80s today, near or just above 80 all the way to the coast. Partly cloudy tonight, an isolated coastal shower, but overnight down to the mid-60s. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Garrett Biedenball.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. It's Beard's 44th anniversary sale with everything store-wide on sale up to 44% off.
From every street,
Action News Jax is on the scene right now.
To every screen, when news breaks, minutes matter.
Moments ago, we got this update.
Where accuracy is the most important.
Tomorrow's a First Alert weather day as thunderstorms heat up in the afternoon.
Action News Jax Tanika Hughes, Ben Becker, and Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. We break the stories that impact you.
We're told it's a full-scale investigation.
Weeknights at 5, 5:30, and 6. Your #1 rated newscast is Action News Jax.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. Florida license D056341.
On Guarding Your Nest Egg Radio, Mike Lester, founder of Talon Wealth, focuses on a key question many share. Do I have enough to retire?
For starters, we'll do the math for you. But to me, it's really more about lifestyle. I want to find out what's important to you. I want to find out what your expenses are. And then I'm going to give you a realistic expectation moving forward of how your money needs to be invested to accomplish your goals in retirement.
Get to know Mike at guardingyournestegg.com.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Ring the bells with the Salvation Army this holiday season. This is Mike Burrish. Each year, our community comes together to celebrate the reason for the season and to raise money to support Salvation Army programs. November 30th through December 24th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., you can ring the bells and make a difference in our community. Ring the bells at various Publix and Walmart locations. Join the Salvation Army this holiday season to help relieve hunger, homelessness, and bring hope to those in need. Registration is open. To register, go to registertoring.com. That's registertoring.com. Or call 904-301-4852. That's 904-301-4852.
The Inflation Fighter is back and saving you thousands at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Right now at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned, just $500 down and $288 a month gets you a pre-owned 2021 Toyota Corolla. Or you choose a pre-owned 2021 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma, just $500 down and $388 a month. You also get no payments till January 2025. It's all at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/save for details.
I don't feel so good.
You do feel hot. Dayquil Kids will take care of that fever.
What about my cough?
Dayquil Kids has that covered.
Will it make my throat feel better?
Yes, that too.
But will it taste good?
Yep, Dayquil Kids comes in your favorite flavor.
Purple?
Well, yes, it's grape.
Try new Dayquil Kids Plus Fever, the daytime coughing, aching, sore throat fever just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6+. Use as directed.
So this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like North America's #1 home fire safety brand, Kidda. Because on a day full of football sounds you love, like fight songs, roaring crowds, and your favorite commentators...
like me, Kirk Herbstreit.
The last sound you want to hear is... Defend your game time with Kidda and the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Based on total household installations as of December 2023.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. Main office, Jacksonville.
Rich Jones here. If you're an investor who's interested in doing well while doing good, getting solid returns on your investments while making a positive impact, consider investment funds with DLP Capital. Here's Don Wenner, CEO of DLP Real Estate Capital, to tell you more.
With the current housing shortage in the U.S., investing in real estate, especially workforce housing, is one of the safest and most reliable places to invest. We invest in affordable housing for hardworking people and generate amazing returns for each of our investors.
To get your investor's guide and find out more, dial ** invest from your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
ESPN.com is your home for all things ESPN 690. Find shows, podcasts, Florida State Seminoles football, contests, and more at ESPN690.com. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Welcome back. It's the Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690. 904-362-9901 is the phone number if you want to get queued up. But we're going to take a pause from any phone calls during this segment because we got to keep the phones clear for my guy, the Mallard of money-making. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show as we do every single week. 1. Duckles, J. Betts. Ducky, welcome back, man.
What an intro. I love it.
I'm all kinds of hyped up
it.
today, Duck, from the Jets win. I'm just super pumped.
Yeah, I'm loving the shirt, too. You haven't had to watch it much this year, but
That's right. I got all kinds of Jet shirts I've been embarrassed to wear. I was explaining to Brian as I opened up the show, I always wanted Aaron Rodgers on this team. I think Woody Johnson's a tremendous owner. I'm very happy with the Jets right now.
Look, Aaron, you can't go 11-1 without starting 3-6.
You know what I mean?
So let's keep those vibes going for at least for this week until we run into the next team.
All right. Speaking of good vibes, let me go ahead and spread the good vibes, guys, because I want to update us on how we're doing this season. When I last left you, Brian was in the lead, but barely 10-10 on the season. Me and you, Duck, we were sitting at 9-11 through week 7. Then we picked last week. Brian, you went 2-2. You got Atlanta and Arizona. You missed on Dallas and Green Bay. Duck, you went 2-2. You got Atlanta and Arizona. You missed on Dallas and Green Bay. I remember.
Wait. No. I picked against the Jags.
Right. You picked Green Bay.
We had the same pick.
The spread was 3.5. Jags lost by 3.
Yeah, we got gooned on that, man.
You missed.
Took a knee on the 1 yard line, the rookie.
See, man, hold on.
You want to file a complaint?
Yeah,
Let's call up Shad. Go ahead and ring up Shad Khan for a second.
I tell you every time, I'm like, listen, man, points or whatever, I'm picking the team that wins, man.
Congrats.
All right, I'll get a better understanding.
That's
next
cool.
time.
That's usually how rules work. You just state how you want to play, and everyone else plays a different way. I understand.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So back to you missed. So you go from 10-10 to 12-12. Duck, you go from 9-11 to 11-13. Let's get to your boy Aaron. I went 3-1 last week. I hit on Atlanta. I missed on Miami. I hit on San Fran, and I hit on Jacksonville. That's 3-1. That brings my record to a robust 12-12. I am tied for first with Brian. Duck, you are 1 game behind.
We're all very close. I love it. I love
it's
it.
neck and neck. Of course, my tie with Brian, my tie is a little more dominant than just a tie. It's like a tie plus. Yeah. Just letting you know, Brian.
Okay.
Duck, before we jump into this week's action, is there anything that's catching your eye on the side there that I need to get my radar up on?
I got to bring it back to how we first met, man. I got to give you guys a kicking prop.
Love the kicker props. Love the kicker props. Look, before Zerline was missing like 6 kicks a game, he was always good for taking the over on 1.5. Easy.
Yeah, no doubt. And then, I don't know what happened.
All hell broke loose is what happened. But, Brian, I don't know if you know this, the Jets picked up Riley Patterson, a familiar face from here in Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah, they're destined for greatness this season. That's what I do know.
So go ahead, Duck. Which kickers are you looking at?
So I'm looking at the Commanders and Giants game where we have it's a pretty short line on Austin Seibert. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know if it's Seibert, but I call it Seibert. I see the kicking points line at 6.5. I personally think that this line should be set at 7.5. I think the whole point under where it should be. So Seibert, he's been great this year. He's 23 for 25 on the season. And the last time that he played the Giants, I don't know if you guys remember back in that game where there was like no touchdown scored at all.
Oh yeah.
And, for the Commanders, and the Giants scored 3 touchdowns and still lost the game.
It was a huge Malik Neighbors game. Yeah.
Yeah. So Seibert hit 7 field goals in that game, good for 21 kicking points.
If you could have teased up the kicker prop to 6.5, those odds would have been nice.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it would have been at least plus 3,000 at that point.
Yeah, it's like I saw a bet slip on Twitter last night. Someone had Malachi Corley for first TD scored, and it was like a plus 25,000 or something. And I don't know if you were watching the game last night, Brian. Corley scores the first touchdown on a gadget play, and then in a very Jets fashion, drops the ball before he enters the end zone. So they wiped it right off the board. This poor guy probably had 3 heart attacks just in those two minutes. But you're looking at the Commanders kicker.
Yeah, I am. So the Giants they're kind of just one of those bend don't break defenses. I guess kind of like the Jets, where they start to tighten up in the red zone. And they're actually a top 5 red zone defense this year. Honestly, wouldn't have even believed that unless I looked at it myself. And then conversely, the Commanders, they've been really, really good under Jaden Daniels, but they've been actually pretty inefficient in the red zone. They're 24th in the NFL in red zone offense. So
that's wild. Based on the fact that the offense has been cooking, I wouldn't have expected that at all.
They've been good on these long plays, a lot of scary Terry deep bombs, And then Brian Robinson has probably been the best player in the
home run hitter,
for
yeah.
them. Yeah, so they've been kind of struggling within, that 20-yard mark. So I think that you're going to get a couple easy field goal opportunities for Seibert. There's a reason why he has 25 field goal attempts on the season. All right, so they've been cooking in between the 20s and then kind of fall flat a little bit. And I think that there's going to be some good opportunities for him, and I can easily see him getting 2 field goals and an extra point in this game.
Nice.
Easy.
I like taking a little kicker action only in my parlays because it really does jack up those odds sometimes when you pick the over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
Makes it nice and tasty. Anything else you're looking at before we get to this week's games where I get to trounce on you guys or what?
It's all right. I was going to talk about Arizona, but I know how much you don't like it.
What's the problem with Arizona?
No, I'm liking them this week.
Yeah.
The Bears, they after that heartbreaking loss, they had the cornerback, taunting the fans.
That was great.
He goes and tips it. Yeah, it was an awesome moment for Jim Daniels and the boys over there in Washington. But that kind of situation, and then apparently Caleb Williams throwing garbage cans in the locker room and having a hissy fit in there.
Did he break a nail? I know he's very concerned about his nail fashion.
He might have. He might have, but those are the ones that usually they kind of make those undisciplined young teams start like one of those kind of losing streaks. And the Cardinals quietly are in first place in their division.
They really are a lot better than people are giving them credit for. They're sneaking up on people, which I find hard to believe only because, certainly Cardinals fans have been waiting for Kyler Murray to at least be worth the $46 million contract since it was an overpay. Now it's almost like a budget deal in today's NFL.
Yeah.
Kyle Murray, if his contract was up this year, is probably going to get $55-56 million a year.
Yeah, it snuck up on everyone except for the Duck Pond, baby. We were from the preseason. We have tickets on them to make the playoffs, all kinds of stuff. So, so Kyler's been awesome this year. I don't know if the coaching staff basically took away his Xbox or something. I don't know what's going on over there, but they've been great. The offensive weapons have looked good. Marvin Harrison's been a beast.
Yeah.
The defense is playing above their heads, so Jonathan Gannon's scheme is doing well there. I kind of like them there at home as a home short favorite. You can get the money line at -120, which I think is a good price.
Sometimes it is kind of hard to take them seriously when you think about John Connor as the lead back and the fact that Trey McBride is a big part of that offense, but I guess you just got to get used to the fact that these guys are putting in work. They're putting up numbers, man. Connor's not the only aged running back who's putting in numbers this year, so it shouldn't be that shocking, I guess.
Yeah, look what Derrick Henry's doing.
Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, not that Saquon Barkley is old, but he's on his second or third contract. A guy like Josh Jacobs, these guys are proving value this year. Tony Pollard, even though the Titans stink, he's putting in some decent work. These guys are definitely proving value. It'll be interesting to see if this ends up almost kind of like reconfiguring or recorrecting the running back market. Not that you have a ton of big names come and do this offseason like you had last season, but there are definitely going to be some big names in terms of running back whose contracts are up. You saw Kamara just got extended. They didn't even want to let him get close to sniffing free agency.
It's possible. Yeah, the season has definitely changed the view of that, for sure.
A little dynamic there. As a matter of fact, one right here in Jacksonville, and Travis Etienne, obviously his contract's not up this year, and he's got the fifth-year option next year, but it's fueled a lot of trade talk because he got Tank Bigsby up behind him. I still think Etienne's going to carry more value than whatever you can get back in a trade. But that's besides the point, Duck. I think it's time for us to get into these games. Let's do that. Brian, I know you have a little piece of accoutrement that you usually like to hit us with, so I'll give you that opportunity. Thank you, bud. Brian, we'll start with you, man. I think we normally do until you're no longer in first place.
Oh, okay. Nice.
First game we're taking on is the Chargers versus the Brownies.
Mm-hmm.
New age Browns.
Okay.
You got famous Jameis under center, tossing dimes, getting it done, eating those dubs.
Yeah, man.
Getting it done. And you got Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers, apparently forgetting there's a whole Justin Herbert on that team trying to run the ball 74 times a game. Chargers favored in this one by 1.5.
Okay.
Despite the game being in Cleveland, the world waits with bated breath. Brian.
So I think that Cleveland's going to win the game.
A little streak happening, huh?
But now for the pick, because I got to go and study now for next week. Because but on the fly, on the pick, if I don't think that Cleveland is going to stay within 2 points.
Yeah, it's a very big spread of 1.5, Brian. It should scare you off.
If I don't think they're going to say, okay, then I should pick the Chargers and the points. Am I saying this right?
No, you're not.
Because I'm upset about the Green Bay thing.
I understand.
Okay.
I can console you during the break. We'll platonically, don't worry about it. You won't have to report anything. I'm a friend.
All right, really quick. I'm going to pick the Browns.
Listen, that means the Browns can either win and you win or lose by 1 and you win. But anything more than 1,
I'm a loser.
And you're going to be mad all over again.
No, I won't be mad. I understand this time. All right, give me Cleveland Jameis in the 1.5.
You're essentially saying you think they're going to win the game. 1.5 is a very small spread.
Jameis is a national treasure.
I'm with you on that.
Did I see somewhere Nick Chubb is back?
I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, he has been for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks now he's been back.
Yeah, hey man.
Is he making an impact? I didn't see anything about him last week.
I don't know if he is.
He hasn't played that many snaps, but his workload is increasing every week.
Fair enough.
Man. I'm good with it.
Okay. Well, look, Brian, I'm kind of with you. I'll go next. I'm leaning Cleveland. I love the energy Jameis brings to this team. The problem is that they're probably about to trade one of their key players on defense. There are probably some other players on the team wondering if they're going to be on this team in 2 weeks as well. You no longer have a guy like Amari Cooper, so you're resting your laurels on Elijah Moore and David Njoku, who I happen to love, who's on my fantasy team. Shout out to David Njoku. Lots of targets. That's great. I don't know, man. I was counting out the Chargers at the beginning of the season. I thought they were going to be bad this year, and I shouldn't have done that. Harbaugh's got them humming a little bit. That looks like it could be a playoff team, despite them being in Cleveland. Because of the lack of talent right now, I'm going to go with the Chargers in this one. Duck, to you.
Let me start by saying I want to apologize to anyone who was trick-or-treating in Cleveland last night and were dressed up as massage therapists. Because there was one house out there that was giving more than just candy.
Oh, boy.
We just had a dump. I got 8 seconds of dump.
Duck apparently is a shock jock from the 90s.
Holy smokes. Good for you.
On a more serious note, so the Browns are just a better team without Watson at quarterback, honestly. Watson, this fun tidbit that I saw today, never threw for 300 yards even once while on the Browns so far.
Jeez. That's really worth the 265 they gave him.
Yeah. Famous Jameis Winston threw for 334 in his first start. Flacco last year, 6 of 7 starts with 300+. When you're looking at advanced statistics, QB metrics such as EPA per play, Watson was 39th of 42 qualified quarterbacks. So
yuck.
Watson was the problem on that team. Browns +1.5.
What happened to Deshaun Watson? I mean, obviously, we know what happened. He had a lot of off-the-field nonsense, and he was too busy thinking about instead of thinking about hiking a football and throwing it downfield. But you're talking about a dude who was like on the precipice of MVP.
Yeah.
And 25 when it all went down. And the dude's career just seems like it's over. That's wild to me. A 30 for 30, obviously, at some point is required here. But all right, let's move on. We got one of the most evil teams in the NFL, despite how bad they are this year, playing another one of the most evil teams in the NFL, despite how bad they are. The New England Patriots traveling to Trashville to take on the Titans. The Titans, if you can believe it, Brian, are favored by 3.5 here. I could start us off. Here's the thing. I can't find a world in which the Titans win another game this season. I don't understand how it's supposed to happen. I don't even know if Will Levis is back this week. If he is, it's bad news for the Titans. If he isn't, it's still bad news for the Titans. The offense can't get anything going. The defense is banged up. The offensive line was supposed to be a strong suit with Bill Callahan and his dad. None of that is coming to fruition for the boys right now over there in Nashville. It is ugly. Mike Vrabel somewhere just laughing. Mike Vrabel sitting there as a special assistant. Where is he? In Cleveland, I think, as a special assistant to the Brownies, just sitting back. Go get him, Mike Vrabel. Unfortunately for my soul, I'm picking New England in this one. Duck, you're up.
Aaron, why'd you pick this game?
Because it's a tough one.
So many good games out there,
This is a tough game to pick.
This is the gouge my eyes out game. I'm not watching this. Come on, man.
That's what Levis's mom says every week, too.
Yeah. Speaking of Levis, I saw that he's apparently going to come back and start in this game. That's the rumor right now.
But only as a concession stand operator, not as a quarterback.
Well, just in case he does play quarterback, I just support your case.
Okay.
In his 14-game career, he is 4-10.
Yes.
4-10.
Yes.
Yeah. Averaging 5.6 yards per attempt. Better only than Bryce Young and Deshaun Watson. Seven interceptions, 5 touchdowns, 10 total turnovers.
Maybe no one told him he's supposed to throw to guys on his team instead. Maybe that's what the problem is.
Yeah, man. You guys just need to clip the "Oh brother, this guy stinks" clip from SpongeBob and just autoplay that every time someone mentions this guy, man, because he's terrible, man. I'm a Patriots plus 3.5.
New England. Gonzo's gonna have like 4 picks in the game. Brian, you're up.
Hey, man.
This is a game picker-upper for you right here.
Yeah, man. I love the fact that that Ducky comes with all those stats. I don't have any of those, but I'll tell you this much. For three weeks now, I've seen something from Coach Mayo and the Patriots that's given me hope that they're at least kind of starting to trend in the right direction. The first one being Drake May, who will get you fired.
Oh, will he?
Throwing 3 touchdowns.
Drake May will get you fired.
Exactly. Throwing 3 touchdowns on the Texans, who may or may not be a good team, even though they're 6-3.
They are circling the drain.
That following week, they traveled out to London and was giving it to the Jags for like 7 seconds.
7.5 seconds.
You hear me?
That very first drive, it looked nasty.
10-0. You hear me? And I was like, uh-oh, here we go. And then last week, a team that we've just lauded over for about the first A block and half of this B block, because I'm dealing with Jets fans here, the New York Jets. The New England Patriots, they beat them. Drake May.
All right.
And the Patriots beat them.
You don't have to do that.
And so when I look at that and to see the disrespect, the bulletin board material of being underdogs by 3.5 points, now that I kind of understand what that means, if I was Drake May and the Patriots and the Pats, I'd be like, we're going to run it up.
Run it up.
We are going to run it up. I'm going with the Patriots. I'm going to make it a clean sweep. I got to go with
Brian,
them.
this is a terrible strategy by you, but a good pick. All right, Duck, we'll start with you on the next game. We go from the worst game of the week to the best game of the week. I hope this makes you a little bit happier here. You've got Detroit and Jared Goff going for like historic milestones here, taking on the Green Bay Packers in Wisconsin. The Lions favored by 2.5. Duckless, we go to you.
Yeah, this is game of the week potential for sure, especially if Jordan Love plays. Apparently, he's questionable. He might play, might not.
I don't think he's practiced all week. Yeah.
Yeah, they're being fishy about it. But, I mean, he also didn't practice the week that he came back from that injury. So you just never know with the Packers, like, what they're going to do. But the Lions, top 5 in the NFL across every single advanced metric you could find. The biggest advantage in this game that I've seen is that the Lions, they have the number 1 offensive line. Packers defense has the bottom 10 pass rush. Goff should have all the time in the world to throw on passing down situations. Packers also have a bottom 10 rush defense and are facing the Lions, who are just trying to run it down your throat all game.
Let's go, Jameer, on my fantasy squad. Come on, buddy.
Yeah. So there is an advantage here for the Lions statistically. I'm just going to roll with them. They're cooking right now. I don't care what the weather is. I don't care that it's outdoors. And Goff is bad outdoors. I don't care about any of that. I'm taking the Lions minus 2.5.
This is like Goff's first outdoor game in 3.5 years or something like that. It's been a long time. All right, Brian, you're up next. Green Bay, Detroit in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Lions by 2.5.
I got to be real with you. I just don't think, if you guys remember back to 2007 or 8 when Randy Moss went to the Patriots, and they basically just overwhelmed most of the teams except for the Giants in the Super Bowl,
they
offensively.
were like averaging 50 points a game. Yeah.
And the last 4 games, 3 of the 4 games, the Detroit Lions have scored at least 42 points.
All right, but,
No. And the Green Bay Packers defense, especially after last week, it's mid. I get it. They got the guy leading the league in interceptions. But if you look across not the advanced metrics, but just the regular ones, like yards allowed, like passing yards, rush yards allowed, 15, 13, 17. It's fine. Don't get me wrong. I'd rather that than where the Jags are at. But Detroit is a high-powered offense, and they're running the ball. It's not just, let me drop back in the gun and 5 receivers on the field. Man, give me Detroit. Give me the points. I'm going with that. That's what Doug picked, right? That's my strategy still.
Doug picked Detroit.
Yeah,
so
Detroit.
You're staying in lockstep with Doug. I'm so happy you did that. I'm ecstatic.
Okay.
Because
here we go.
Listen, I think Detroit looks great this year. The offense looks high-powered, everything you guys said. But everybody knows when Goff gets outside, sometimes it gets pretty ugly. And so, yes, the Lions have a great offensive line, and yes, the running attack looks really good. But it's been a while for the Lions, and I got a hard time believing streaky streaks will streak without getting broken. So the fact that Detroit is going outside to Green Bay, where it's forecasted to be 53 and wet, tells me that the Lions are prime for a letdown. Josh Jacobs going to run all over the place. I'm taking Green Bay. All right, Brian, you're going to kick us off on our last one. Of course, we always go with the Jaguars game for the last pick.
Yeah, Philly in the points.
You got...
I don't care if it's 3. I don't care if it's 7. I don't care if it's 14. Philly in the points.
You sure about that?
Got to. We finish here? It's your turn? It's your turn. I don't got to think twice on that.
All right.
Put some respect on my name.
That's Trevor Lawrence right there. Is a little bit miffed.
I hope I'm wrong. Let me add that on there, but...
You hope you're wrong.
We got one
Didn't
wide
sound
receiver
like it. I hope like you're right.
from Sandalwood that's going to be traveling with the team. So
going with Philly. All right, look, I'll go next. 7.5 is a large spread.
It really is 7.5?
7.5.
Jeez, okay.
7.5. They've got to win by 8 or more.
Yeah.
That's not something that's happened too often with the Jaguars. As bad as it's been, the Jaguars don't really lose by more than a touchdown.
You're right.
So they've got that going for them. Number 2, it's been kind of off for Philly this year. Granted, they've gotten it clicking as of late, right? It's starting to look better. You'd look at a guy like A.J. Brown, you go, oh, what does he succeed against? Oh, man and press coverage. What do the Jaguars run nauseatingly? Okay, maybe A.J. Brown will go off for 304 receiving yards this weekend. Fine. I just have a hard time looking at Philly going, everything will go according to plan for them. Looking at the Jags going, they win when they're supposed to lose. They lose when they're supposed to win. It's a weird topsy-turvy season. I believe the momentum is starting to favor the Jaguars a little bit. Unfortunately for them, the injuries are starting to mount. I would love to just pick the Jaguars here. I'm struggling to do it. Man, I don't think I've ever picked against them in a pick seg. Ever.
Come on to the right side, man.
I can't.
Come on over.
I can't.
You're still a fan. You still want them to do. I want them to do well.
I don't want to put myself in a position to root against this team. That's my problem.
Oh, I see what you're...
That's my problem. I want to root for them to win. I want to put the money on that team, and I want to root for them to win. I'm going Jacksonville. I'm sentimental, guys. I'm going Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence going to ball out in Philly. Come on. Duck, what do you got?
I was going to pick Jacksonville if you didn't, just to be on the other side
pick up a game.
Of you guys, but...
Hey, look, Brian has picked every game you've picked, so you should still pick Jacksonville if that's your strategy.
No, I was... Yeah, I was going to do it just because the back door will always be open in this game.
That sounds...
It's hard because it's like, I think...
Like a freak off or something, yeah.
Okay.
Duck Diddy in this building, huh? You know what I mean?
All right.
I said it before. Ain't no party like a Ducky party, man.
Yeah.
So, all right,
no baby oil required.
BYOB.
You know what I mean?
Your own baby oil. Huh? Holy smokes, Duck.
All right, Duck, what are you doing? 7.5 points.
So Jaguars dealing with cluster injuries at wide receiver, as you guys well know. So this is like the exact same situation the Texans were dealing with last night, where they just have a cluster injury at wide receiver. C.J. Stroud went 11 for 30, had zero flow on offense the entire night.
So great. He was overthrowing everybody. It was fantastic.
Yeah. So I feel like this same exact thing might happen again with Jacksonville here because they just have a cluster injury. Now, if Brian Thomas plays, that changes a little bit, which is why I kind of do like the Jaguars at plus 7.5, but they're catching the Eagles at a tough spot. You have Jalen Hurts playing at home where he covers at a 61% rate.
Oof.
He covers only 42% on the road. They're getting healthier. They have Saquon Brown, Devonta Smith. They're rolling right now. So I think that they'll get off to like at least a lead and let Saquon control the game. So I'm just gonna pick the Eagles here.
Yeah, it's a smart pick. If I'm being real and not sentimental, it's a smart pick. Ducky,
but you might get the extra point just because you're on the other side. So you went on the other side with the Packers. So I don't know. You're going for broke here, which is probably going to work for you.
We'll see. I think it depends on that Cleveland game, too. You guys both on Cleveland. I'm on the Chargers. I got opportunities here, but it could also get real ugly for me real quick. Ducky, I appreciate you spending some time with us today, as you do every week. You want to find this man on X? You can find him at Ducky_Bets or head over to Patreon where the betting models are up and running, where you can cash in with the rest of the folks over at patreon.com/duckpond. Ducky, thank you so much for joining us again, man.
Anytime, guys.
All right, see you next week, where you will be on the losing end of this week's picks.
Doug said no. What did you say about the back door? Holy
You said the back door's always open, Brian.
Pause.
All right. Now you ask me what you want. Is there something you want to follow up, or you got a question or something?
No party like a Ducky party. I was like, yo, Duck, you gonna double down on air, on a live mic?
Yeah.
It's my guy and everything, but
Put some respect on those feathers. I don't think we're coming back. Not for a little bit.
Not for a little bit, yeah.
It's the Aaron Schachter Show. When we come back, funny man Felipe Esparza scheduled to appear right here on the Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like North America's #1 home fire safety brand, Kidda. Because on a day full of football sounds you love, like fight songs, roaring crowds, and your favorite commentators...
like me, Kirk Herbstreit.
The last sound you want to hear is... Defend your game time with Kidda and the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Based on total household installations as of December 2023.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE.
Main office, Jacksonville.
Rich Jones here. If you're an investor who's interested in doing well while doing good, getting solid returns on your investments while making a positive impact, consider investment funds with DLP Capital. Here's Don Winter, CEO of DLP Real Estate Capital, to tell you more.
With the current housing shortage in the U.S., investing in real estate, especially workforce housing, is one of the safest and most reliable places to invest. We invest in affordable housing for hardworking people and generate amazing returns for each of our investors.
To get your investor's guide and find out more, dial ** invest from your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
The Gun Show is back at the Maxwell Snyder Armory on Normandy Boulevard this Saturday and Sunday. Buy, sell, trade, and browse a huge selection of guns, knives, ammo, and more. Doors open at 9 a.m. $10 to enter. See you at the Gun Show.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and the Indiana Fever have a new head coach, Stephanie White, who coached Connecticut for the last 2 years. White also played and coached for the Fever earlier. Rams wideout Puka Nacua won't practice today with a knee injury, but head coach Sean McVay says he wouldn't bet against Nacua playing Sunday against the Seahawks. The 7-0 Chiefs host the Buccaneers Monday night, and now Kansas City has added linebacker Josh Uche in a trade with the Patriots. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes.
Someone that can really get to the QB, especially in those pass rush situations. I think he does a great job of playing hard the entire time, too, which is sometimes you get guys that kind of take their chances in their spots and stuff like that, but he's a guy that gets after it every single snap he gets. And so I think it's a great addition to an already great defense. And I think his specialty will be able to really be emphasized in this defense.
Patrick Mahomes, Browns running back Jerome Ford will play Sunday against the Chargers. He missed the last 2 games with a sore hamstring. Cornerback Denzel Ward questionable for Cleveland after being diagnosed with his 6th career concussion.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Monday, Week 9 in the NFL, as well as my trip to the Big House, and I'll recap it all in my Upon Further Review at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
From Studio 2 at the worldwide headquarters of ESPN.
Welcome to the Love Friday edition.
Why go big or go home when you can go epic and save at Arlington Toyota? Right now, you can lease a new 2024 Corolla LE for only $89 a month. A new 2025 Camry SE for only $129 a month. Need an SUV? Then lease a new 2024 RAV4 XLE for only $199 a month. Our friends at Arlington even have epic lease savings on trucks, too. Go epic and save big during the Epic Lease Savings event at Arlington Toyota. Shop arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/October for full details.
Hey, pet parents. With Progressive's collision coverage, you get extra protection for your cat or dog, because there's nothing worse than seeing your pet hurt. Like when you see their face after accidentally stepping on their tail, and you say, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Pickles." But as you kiss his nose and rub his little belly welly, you know Mr. Pickles is thinking, "You betrayed me." Anywho, Progressive pays up to $1,000 in vet bills if your pet is injured in an auto accident. Learn more at Progressive.com and watch where you step. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Collision coverage subject to policy terms. Not available in all states.
Did you know that Wendy's has any size soft drinks for just $1? Yeah, any size, anytime. Like $1 Coke, $1 Sprite, or even $1 Strawberry Fanta. Okay, could we maybe switch up the sound effect? Please? Because I'm losing it. Wow, no, not that. Any size soft drink for just $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. A la carte only. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
Attention poker fans. The World Poker Tour is dealing hot at Best Bet Jacksonville now through November 19th. The action is fierce with 14 pulse-pounding tournaments, including the Best Bet Mystery Bounty and the $5,000 No Limit Hold'em main event with a jaw-dropping $1 million prize pool up for grabs. Your shot at poker glory is just a buy-in away. For tournament schedules and details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com. Best Bet Jacksonville and the World Poker Tour, where today's players become tomorrow's legends.
I'm Action News Jack's first alert meteorologist Garrett Biedenball. Weather here is unique. It could be bright and sunny one minute and then a downpour the next. That's why mornings are when you need us the most. So you can plan your day, no matter if you're getting ready to go to work or working from your living room, getting the kids ready for school or ready for lunchtime. I'm on TV explaining how weather is going to affect your day and night ahead, so you're prepared for anything. I'll get you ready on Action News Jax this morning.
Live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
We're celebrating our 20th anniversary, serving Jacksonville with the largest pre-owned inventory sale in our history at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Bay Meadows. Choose from Ram trucks, Jeeps, Ford, Chevy, Honda, Toyota, Nissan, and more. Many starting at below market value. We have lots of financing options. Get approved today. There's only one dealer with so much to offer. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Only at I-295 and Bay Meadows.
Hi, I'm Mike Lister, the founder of Talon Wealth and the host of the Guarding Your Nest Egg radio show. Like you, I love this country, and I'm very thankful for those that protect us along with our freedoms. That's why for active military and active first responders, if you decide to work with us, Talon Wealth isn't going to charge you any advisor fees. We're happy to explain all the details, but most importantly, thank you for your service.
Visit guardingyournestegg.com to find out more.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. Florida License D056341.
Bueller Aaron Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a gravy taster from Jacksonville, Florida, me, Dennis Mosley. Hi, Ken. Okay, Dennis. 100 plumbers surveyed, top answer on the board. What does it mean if someone says your home has hard water?
It's made of ice? Let's see, hard water. Oh, is it club soda mixed 4-to-1 with vodka?
Last chance, Dennis. What is hard water?
Is it that lime scale stuff that makes my taps all crusty?
That's right, Dennis. And a water treatment system from Bueller Aaron Plumbing will eliminate troublesome lime scale deposits that can ruin your expensive appliances and let your neighbors know for sure that you are cool.
I wonder if I can get me a gin and tonic faucet.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
I'm Daniel Davis, President and CEO of Jack's Chamber. Did you know that more than 100 people a day are moving to the Jacksonville region? They see what we've known all along, that our beaches and access to waterways give us a quality of life like no other, that our variety of neighborhoods from historic to brand new allow everyone to find their perfect match, and that our innovative business community keeps our economy thriving. To learn more, visit jackschamber.com.
Who is this guy? Aaron Schachter? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
Ready? Yeah. Turn off your radio.
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. Hanging with you guys up until 5 p.m. on ESPN 690. My name is Aaron Schachter. With me, super producer extraordinaire, executive, in charge of buttons and other assorted noises, Brian Middleton.
Thanks, man.
Oh, I thought you were busy.
No.
Sitting here talking to me. How dare you?
By the way, man, well done during the duck segment, man. You were in your bag with the hotkeys. You had them queued up. You were in the, breaking in the middle of your statements. Well done, man.
What a goose.
Everybody ain't able, man.
I woke up like this. What a goose you are. Wild to me that we live in Jacksonville, and the story came out yesterday that we now know where Florida Georgia is going to be played during the Jaguar Stadium renovations. Then the story comes out today. Jacksonville has inked a new contract with the folks at UF and the folks at UGA. New details have emerged. We barely touched on it. We barely spoke about it. If you needed any proof that this isn't a sports show, I'm just obsessed with football, there it is. If it was a sports show, we probably would have done that some justice. So I should probably mention it. Yesterday, we found out, because we were worried for a little bit, that when the Jaguars start to renovate the stadium and they shut it down for 2 years, I think there was some concern, some questions about where the game, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Shh.
Sorry?
We're not supposed to say that.
Okay.
Is it Georgia, Florida this year or Florida, Georgia?
I believe it's Florida, Georgia this year.
All right. Depends on who you ask, I think, sometimes. Get those Gator lovers out there going, it's always Florida, Georgia. All right. And you get the dogs out there go, this is Georgia, Florida every year. All right. It's enough.
Way to alienate both fan bases.
It's enough with the both of you. I used to always laugh Florida, Georgia weekend because you'd see a lot more people in town, especially at some of the hot spots, right? Downtown by RV City and stuff like that.
Okay.
But you could always tell which fan base was which, even if you're not paying attention to the colors they're wearing. Because if you see someone walking around Jacksonville on a 60-degree morning in a T-shirt and shorts, you go, that's a UGA fan. If you see someone walking around Jacksonville in long sleeves and jeans and a beanie hat on a 60-degree morning, oh, so that's a Gainesville person.
Yeah.
That's how you tell the jorts also help. You can figure out a lot of stuff by who's wearing jorts.
Okay. Yeah. They're back in style, man.
Are they?
Shorts. Jean shorts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, man.
Okay. What do the UGA folks wear?
I don't know.
National championship rings.
Oh.
Look at me.
Way to tease
bringing
that
it
up.
back.
Look at you.
I'm back in the corner again, guys.
Undercover Dogs fan right here. Look at you queuing it up.
Yeah, so I remember back on the old show, we debated it a little bit. We thought if these games went back to the campuses from whence they came, that it would be maybe never again that we see the games in Jacksonville. I mean, both schools want these games on campus. It's a huge recruitment tool.
Yeah.
And we've just been sitting here getting greedy with it, stealing all the love and money. So when we shut down the stadium, we're like, oh, man, this thing is going away. But no, not only is it not going away forever, when it does go away for 2 years, instead of going back to the campuses, which kind of made sense to me, 1 year you do Gainesville, 1 year you do Athens. Instead of doing that, they're going to Atlanta. And where else are they going? They're going to Tampa?
Yeah. Mercedes-Benz and then Raymond James.
Raymond James.
Yep.
So, I mean, cool for us. Then, story came out today that the city of Jacksonville has signed the deal with the two schools to extend the game here in Jacksonville through 2031.
So we pay them because we're going to get a lot of business from everybody coming here, correct?
I've got to imagine they're not paying us. Yeah, we're paying them.
You know, Jacksonville is it's a huge city. One of the burgeoning cities in the U.S. People want to be here.
It's literally the hugest. Literally.
So, people want to be here.
Well, I'm not sure that Georgia and Florida wanted to be here, but they don't have a choice now. Because we got that cash. We got enough to throw at Shad.
From where?
600 milli, 750 milli. It's just growing on trees, Brian. We're just chopping it down, handing it out to everybody.
You think them property taxes was high? You wait for what's coming down that pipeline.
Right.
Jacksonville and surrounding areas. There you go.
Now you're talking the truth. Saw an interesting piece also about Jags front office. Obviously, there's a lot of heat happening now on Trent Baalke. A lot of people think Trent Baalke should be shown the door. And one of the names that keeps popping up is a guy whose team will be playing this weekend in Ken Dorsey. Now, you may know the name because Ken Dorsey's been a GM before. As a matter of fact, like Trent Baalke, Ken Dorsey's actually been a GM twice. Last time he was a GM was for the Browns. He actually did a little spot on Hard Knocks when the Browns were on Hard Knocks. But once he left the Browns, which, by the way, he left them in a much better position than when he got there, he kind of floated around a little bit as a consultant, and now he's consulting for the Eagles under Howie Roseman, who's widely regarded as the best GM in football, if not in the history of the game. It seems like every year this guy adds another 3 All-Pros to the roster. I don't know how he does it. He like microwaves that salary cap or something, but he gets it done. He's a star when it comes to that front office, that Howie Roseman. And so you got to think, if he's digging on a guy like Ken Dorsey, maybe there's still meat on that bone. You don't like that, Brian. You don't want me to refer to him as meat on that bone? I understand. You
you use your descriptions the way you want to.
You have sensibilities. I understand.
It's all good.
I understand. I don't want to hurt your feelings or be offensive. But that is one of the names that's being thrown around out there. And I'm sitting there going, I'd almost rather do that than like take a shot on a new GM that's never been a GM before. Like, I'd almost rather go with a commodity, you understand how it's going to work out, instead of just guessing what comes next.
What's the money line on Trent Baalke being the GM next year? Did I say that correctly?
No, actually you didn't. The interesting thing about money line is there is no what's the. It's just win or lose on money line.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is he going to be here or not? It's 2 options. You can't do it that way. Okay, that's fine.
You'd be like this. What's the over-under on the amount of time Trent Baalke has left?
That's right.
And then you'd put it probably at the end of the season for that over-under line. Right? So you go February 2025. Fired or employed? I think a lot of people are picking fired at this point.
So I would go employed because the odds would be greater if it
They
hits.
would be greater.
That's what I'm going. I'm putting $1.75,
Also,
$1.75 on that. Yes, sir.
If you do your research, you'd realize Shad Khan probably isn't firing Trent Baalke.
That's fair.
So you'd be making some money. We'll learn you yet, my friend. And, of course, talking about the Eagles and Ken Dorsey, it actually brings me to the next topic of conversation I wanted to start before we hear from Doug Peterson and all the injuries, and that's Ross Tucker from yesterday. Ross had an interesting take on some of the bad teams in the league, specifically the Jaguars, because they're playing against the Eagles, the Birds, as Philly Trash calls them.
Talking about the Birds in the Kelly Green game against the Jaguars on Sunday. They're bad. They're a bad team. They're a 2-6 football team. However, they are arguably, maybe with the Jets, the most talented bad team in the league.
I'll take it. Compliment. I'll take it. Got to give them hope. One of the most talented bad teams in the league. Guys, we're talented.
In the league. Love their rookie receiver, Brian Thomas, although he's a little bit banged up. I think their running back, Tank Bigsby, is a star. They've paid most of their offensive line, even though they just traded Cam Robinson to the Vikings. Trevor Lawrence was the #1 overall pick for a reason. He's been up and down. Even on defense, Foye Oluokun can play.
I feel like this Eagles guy, Ross Tucker, is a bigger Jags fan than Jags fans. He's got a lot of nice things to say about a team he just called really bad.
Oluokun can play. They got Trayvon Walker, Josh Hines Allen. They're one of the most talented bad teams I've seen in the league in a while.
Are they the worst good bad team, in your opinion? Because I would have put the Jets right up there with them before they dominated on Thursday Night Football.
I have to pull the standings up to see everything else, but I think so, Aaron. This guy sounds like, minus that last line, the bad team line, he sounds like most Jags fans in the preseason going into the year. The reason why we believe so much.
Yeah. Dolphins are 2-5.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a talented bad team.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Raiders 2-6. No. Browns are 2-6. They got rid of Amari Cooper. It's kind of harder now.
No.
Titans 1-6. That's not a good team.
No.
Giants 2-6. That's not a good team at all.
Stop it.
Rams are 3-4. I don't know if you can call 3-4 a bad team.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not.
They're a little banged up, but that was a team that was picked to possibly go to the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season. So, Bears are 4-3. That's not a bad record. The Geechies are 1-7. Geechee Cats.
Not at all.
Not
They're
a
good at
good
being
team.
bad. They're good at being bad.
Not a good team. Saints are 2-6. That's a good roster.
It's a good one.
Chris Olave, Kamara.
Yeah, it's close.
Derek Carr when he's healthy.
I think in the power rankings, I would go Miami, Jacksonville, New Orleans. It'd be real close between Jacksonville.
Where do you put the Jets?
I don't think the Jets are a bad team. I don't think they're a bad team. And I think that they turned the corner with 3 wins now. So,
what?
I don't put them in there.
What? Are we talking about the same team?
Yeah.
You think the Jets are a good team?
I think they're not a bad team. Difference. Message.
There is a difference.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I'll take your word on it. That's fine. That's fine. I don't want to shoot you down because you're supporting my team. That's fine. Let's hear about the Jags and their injuries. I need a quick injury update from Doug Peterson on the fellas. Post haste.
Ezra probably not going to make it to this game. You know, that high.
He's got other stuff going on. He's got a dentist appointment. So unfortunately, Ezra Cleveland will miss this weekend.
Said he got a reservation at Three Forks.
He's got
to get to.
He's got some cheesy potatoes waiting on him. He won't be able to make the game.
That high ankle, those are just, again, those things, they're tough.
Not for Pat Mahomes, but, who's counting?
Brandon's going to go today, practice, and we'll see where he's at. Still kind of almost a game time decision with him, but he's a tough kid.
Kid? It's like 50. No offense, Brandon. Still. You're no spring chicken these days. Doug's being kind of kind there. He is tough, though. I find it hard to believe Brandon Sheriff's going to miss a game for any circumstance. That dude will come out with one leg. He's like, yeah, the other one's on the bench. Don't worry about it.
Tough kid. BT's done well. Look, still got to be cautious a little bit with that. So we're gonna make sure that he's not going to be 100%, obviously. And nobody is at this time. But still want to make sure that we don't want a setback, obviously, with him.
All right, here's the problem.
Yeah, please.
All right, I am getting a call from the guest, so watch your hotline there. I think they're trying to get in or get up.
Okay.
But here's the problem with Doug Peterson on BTJ here. Ever since the injury, he's been saying BTJ is game time, game time, game time. It doesn't sound like a game time decision. Listen to the way he explains Brian Thomas Jr. here.
Look, still got to be cautious a little bit with that. So we're gonna make sure that he's not going to be 100%, obviously. And nobody is at this time. But still want to make sure that we don't want a setback, obviously, with him. Any of the guys. ETN's been doing some good things, getting stronger. Another one that's going to be probably right up to the game time. Darby's fine. And Gabe has been working through, his shoulder issue. and probably another one that's going to be game time. Dewey's Dewey. He had a better week. We're going to see today. Make a decision today.
So it sounds like they're trying to get healthy, and they're struggling a little bit. It's a lot. It's a lot of injuries piling up at the wrong time. I know I was sitting there picking them in the picks. I know I got sentimental about the whole thing. It's a lot. It's a lot of injury update. I don't think Brian Thomas Jr. plays this week. If you listen to how Doug explained it, it seems like they're calling it day to day. They're calling it week to week. They're saying there's a chance, there's a possibility. They'll check it out in the warm-ups. But does Doug sound like he's confident? I don't think he does. I don't think he sounds confident whatsoever, to be honest with you. It does sound like Etienne's working his way back. That's good news. Even though Bigsby has been playing well, the reality is the offense is better when you have at least Etienne in the holster. I mean, maybe he's not in the backfield every play, but at least you know you got him. You can use him, especially on a team with depleted receivers right now. Extra pair of hands is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. How about getting an update from Doug on the environment they're going to be playing in? That is the reputation that Philly brings to the table, by the way. Like, what is the environment that the team is going into? This is the same city that threw batteries at Santa Claus. Doug, talk about that environment.
It's hostile, man. It's really a great environment, really. Especially
for who? Because I don't think it's going to be great for the Jaguars.
Especially the later games. You know, those fans will get out there and honestly, they'll tailgate all day. And
okay, we see what you're doing here. We see what you're doing here. Late games give the fans more time to get drunk. That's basically what Doug's saying here. He's like, those are passionate people, a.k.a. loud and obnoxious. Hostile environment, a.k.a. you're going to hear it from the fans. Out there tailgating all day, a.k.a. drinking since 8 a.m. the day before. Welcome to Philly.
Tailgate all day and get ready. You know, it's just what they do, and they're gonna pack the link and be loud. It's really a great atmosphere, you know, and for them right now with the success they're having, it should be a great crowd, and they'll be jazzed up.
I don't know that I would use jazzed up to describe the Philly fan base. I mean, clearly, they're an excited fan base. Jazzed up. It's like, oh, there's Ed. He's been drinking vodka shots since 9 a.m. It's 2 p.m. now. I feel like he's very jazzed up. Not how I would describe that. Now, Philly, one of those stadiums that has a jail in the actual stadium. That's not some drunk tank holding cell. That's for felonious activity. You put the most jazzed up of Philly fans in the Philly jail at the bottom of the stadium. Jazzed up. Definitely didn't have jazzed up on my Doug Peterson bingo card today. Question from the media. Given the current state of the team with all the injuries, what exactly has given you the confidence you could turn the season around? It's a valid question. You can't imagine you're going to hear an honest answer about it. Because if you heard an honest answer from Doug, you'd be like, well, not much. Have you seen us this year? We're 2-6. But granted, here's the optimist.
For me, the confidence is down there in that locker room. And it's all those players and coaches. And look, you continue to grind. You continue to put in the time and the effort and the work. And, what's the definition of insanity, right? I mean, you just got to keep doing it over and over and over.
Is that a real quote, or is that just a Sandra Bullock line from a movie? I've seen it attributed to Albert Einstein before. I'm like, are we sure that's an Einstein quote? Because I feel like I've only ever seen it in that Sandra Bullock movie where she's in rehab the whole time. I don't even remember the name of that movie. I think Doug Peterson is quoting Sandra Bullock right now.
But in this case, we want different results. But I think that's where my my excitement comes from. Just with those.
It sounds like it. It sounds like a lot of excitement from Doug here.
My excitement comes from just with those guys and knowing that they'll get it fixed.
Well, Doug seems to think they're going to get it fixed, so you'd like to have confidence that the head coach knows what he's talking about. I don't know that I'm so confident that he knows what he's talking about when it comes to confidence in this team, but he sounds confident. We heard Ezra Cleveland his injury get described a couple of minutes ago. It doesn't sound like he's going to be ready to go, although they haven't made the decision yet. But if Ezra can't go, what do they plan to do? Cooper Hodges would be the next man up. So what did Doug see from him last week, and is that giving him some confidence?
I thought he settled into the game. Didn't get a ton of reps, obviously, last week, but this week, in that spot, getting more of the work, you see some calmness. Got his work cut out for him, obviously, with these D tackles that they have, but he's up for the challenge. He's looking forward to it, and expect him to play well.
Listen, you might have the expectation he plays well, but those D tackles are nothing to sneeze at. Philly brings the heat up front. He's going to have his hands full for that game, as will the rest of the team. 904-362-9901 is the number of the Aaron Schachter Show. Quick break here. Back in a few minutes with a special guest in the studio.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny, breezy, a brief shower possible. A lot of dry times. Highs reaching the low 80s today, near or just above 80 all the way to the coast. Partly cloudy tonight, an isolated coastal shower, but overnight down to the mid-60s. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Garrett Biedenball.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer. Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning. The cap is loose on that ketchup.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. It's Beard's 44th anniversary sale with everything store-wide on sale up to 44% off.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
From every street
Action News Jax is on the scene right now.
to every screen, when news breaks, minutes matter.
Moments ago, we got this update.
Where accuracy is the most important.
Tomorrow's a First Alert weather day as thunderstorms heat up in the afternoon.
Action News Jack's Tanika Hughes, Ben Becker, and Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. We break the stories that impact you.
We're told it's a full-scale investigation.
Weeknights at 5, 5:30, and 6. Your #1 rated newscast is Action News Jax.
Are you a real estate investor or have considered investing and want to know where you can put your money that offers solid returns and protects against market volatility? It's Rich Jones. I want to introduce you to DLP Capital, CEO and founder Don Wenner.
For more than a decade, DLP Capital has delighted our investors with consistent double-digit returns. Through the smart, conservative real estate investment strategy our company is built on, we have been able to achieve this with monthly distributions and tax shelters so our investors can keep more of their returns.
Dial **invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
See dealer for complete details. Don't miss the largest pre-owned inventory sell down we've ever had at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Bay Meadows. Our pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs must be sold, and no reasonable offer will be refused, including our great selection of certified Ram trucks and Jeeps. There's only one dealer with so much to choose from. It's here at I-295 and Bay Meadows. Now is